What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we got some crazy news. We got some very interesting news as well. We're going to address the stimulus update talks that we have. We're going to talk about the $600 IRS change that is going to really impact people that receive payments through PayPal and Venmo. We're going to also address how about 15 million people could be losing their Medicaid coverage in about a week. And I also want to provide you with some daily news as well. So first off, thank you guys for watching today's video. If you enjoy these daily uploads, do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button, and also consider subscribing. But let's get into the update for today. First, Democrats have been in power for almost 12 months. And reports are indicating that they still do not know how to handle the power in which they have. We heard from Republicans back before the Georgia Senate runoff, where Republicans were saying if you give Democrats the majority of the power, they will simply blow things up. Nothing will work and nothing will pass. Well, 12 months later, and here we are. Some lawmakers say that their party doesn't even know which path to take to get President Biden's agenda passed. One Senate aide stated that everybody throws out ideas, but there's no formal proposals that come after. A reporter stated that lawmakers have language on a proposal for a watered-down stimulus package, yet we haven't seen it. This is, according to reports, going to include pre-K and childcare provisions. This is exactly what Senator Joe Manchin had. But at this point, nothing has been done. All we have is the language, and that's it. That's where things stop. Here's the crazy part. The crazy part about all of this is that lawmakers have had months to get the Build Back Better Act negotiated, watered down, negotiated again, and finally passed. And yet they still cannot come to an agreement. They don't know which direction to take, and they're not sure who they should even be negotiating with. Yes, that's not a joke. Democrats do not know who they should be negotiating with. Do they negotiate with President Biden and figure out what President Biden wants? Well, no, because he doesn't have all the power at this point. All the power's within the Senate. And the one person holding everything up and the one person that everyone keeps on looking at is Senator Joe Manchin. So who should they be negotiating with? Senator Joe Manchin. But as he stated yesterday, there's no ongoing negotiations. There's no ongoing discussions regarding the Build Back Better Act. That has been put on the back burner. So essentially, we are back to square one. We're back to square one. That's where we're at this point. So it's going to be interesting, but that's what we know right now regarding the stimulus update. But let's talk about Medicare, or actually Medicaid, excuse me. Did you know that on January 15th, that is in 9 days, January 15th, 2022, we could see the end of the continuous Medicaid coverage. As of right now, continuous Medicaid coverage ends when the public health emergency ends, which, unless the Biden administration extends it, will be on January 15th. This means that 15 million people will lose all their Medicaid coverage. This also includes 6 million children, and many state and federal officials at this point, about a week before, are scrambling to try to help where they can. But with that said, here's what I can tell you. Many of these 15 million people will be eligible for other forms of subsidized coverage. But here's where things get very tricky. The problem is that many of these people will not even realize what is on the horizon. They don't realize their coverage is about to expire. And that's the biggest worry right now, is that when these 15 million people are trying to work with their local agencies to extend coverage, to find coverage elsewhere, what they're going to be met with are major staffing shortages, potential COVID shutdowns of their local agencies, and guess what? Nothing's going to happen. They will be without coverage for a little bit, unless the Biden administration goes and extends this, which we should have more information on this early next week. So make sure you stick around for that. Make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you do not miss that update. All right. Let's talk about the $600 limit. It's a limit. Because did you know that if you receive money on apps like Venmo, PayPal, Apple Pay, the Cash App, if you receive payments, the IRS is going to be sending you something called the 1099-K. This means if you received over $600 in payments this year, okay, you will be receiving that because it started on January 1st of 2022. Now, if you receive these payments over $600, you will have to report that, okay? These apps are going to report that. So here's what I can tell you. This provision, it used to be set at 200 transactions and $20,000 in total value, but that changed this year. Keep in mind though, even though the value is at $600, that's total value, that will only be added up for payments on goods and services. So if you have somebody mark their payment as a peer-to-peer transaction, such as a friend or family member, these won't be counted towards the $600 in total for the year. So keep that in mind as you're accepting payments, because let's say you give your friend $20 to go for whatever, right? To get an Uber, right? Here's $20 you were drinking, go get that Uber, right? If you do that, or if you pay for a meal for somebody, right? Let's say that's the case, you're just paying them back. Even though it's technically a good, right? Food, even though that's how you're paying them, what you need to keep in mind is pay as a friend or family member, okay? Or else they're going to get hit with this at the end of the year. We also know that online ticketing sites like SeatGeek and Ticketmaster are also reporting to the IRS if you receive more than $600. Now, this is going to be especially hurtful for those people that sold their season tickets for a profit on these sites. I'm all the time I'm buying buying tickets for things on sites like SeatGeek, and what I can tell you is those people are probably making a good amount of money, but now that the SeatGeek's gonna be reporting this, well, it might not be such a great or such a lucrative business after all. So we'll see what happens there. Now, here's something I really want to address, because I've been getting a lot of questions from people of, where do you find an at-home COVID test? Now, if you've been asking for this, you're not alone. My wife and I, we got really lucky. My wife was able to find some, I think, really late at night on Walmart, and then she picked them up the next day. But these are very limited. There's a limited amount of tests right now. The Biden administration says they're going to try to get tests out quicker, but we'll see how quickly that goes. But if you're looking at sites like Walmart, Target, Walgreens, and CVS, you might be discouraged because there's nothing. But according to shoppers, they say look very late at night and also early in the mornings, because sometimes those are the best times to find a couple of tests. But make sure you act quickly, because these will go very fast. Now, I want to show you something. Okay, I want to show you this because on sites like, here's one, Now in Stock. There's also one called Hot Stock. And there's also one called Zoolerts. These are all great places to find different COVID tests. Okay, and this is my favorite site right here. This is the one I really like. This is also the site that I used to pick up a PS5 and the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. I was able to use this site. Now here's what I like about this site. Look at this. On Amazon, out of stock. Amazon pre-order. It's in stock. Walgreens. Okay, this just popped up because when I was looking a few minutes ago, it was not there. That's in stock in Walgreens. Now, see the site. My guess, we'll see how much it is. Walgreens is usually, I think, $19 to $24, somewhere around there. So just keep that in mind. Walmart, out of stock, right? Out of stock, right? eBay, obviously they have some, but you're gonna pay up for those. So this is a really good website to use, and this is called nowinstock.net. So here's what I can tell you. Go find your COVID test if you've been looking. This is a great website called nowinstock.net. Go and check it out. If you have any questions whatsoever, ask questions down in the comment section below. But that is what we know at this time. Again, if you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.